Welcome back to Alyssa's Movie Takes. Today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Church People. I did not get to see this when it was in theaters because I was on a trip overseas, but now I'm back and they still have virtual screenings available. Just Google Church People and you can find the virtual screenings there. The tickets are $20, so if you want to watch it with a friend, that would be even better. I did do the trailer reaction and the humor was pretty much exactly what I would expect from the trailer. They kept it in line with what the actual humor was, which was a lot of dry humor, a lot of poking fun at certain aspects of church culture, whether that's the gimmicks, whether that's the greeters who are always in your face, and even down to, something a little bit extreme like Joey Fatone's character who always sings, and it's the worship pastor who's like a wannabe Broadway star. The movie stars Thor Ramsey as Guy Sides, who is a youth pastor who became famous and traveled around the country, and he is frustrated by the fact that he has to use gimmicks in order to get people to listen and hold people's attention. And he's struggling with that at the very beginning, all the way pretty much through the movie, that he's just sick and tired of the church culture that says we have to use gimmicks in order to get people through the door, and that the gospel of Jesus Christ is not enough. The main love story of the movie reminded me of The Resurrection of Gavin Stone. It had a very similar feel. The main character in both movies falls in love with the pastor's daughter who's recently single. And both movies play in mega churches around a big event for the church. So I felt like I was in familiar territory there in a kind of humor that I've seen a lot. And isn't it funny what we do as Christians, especially if we take that to an extreme? I had a lot of fun watching it, so it's a very amusing time. Just go and enjoy it. Enjoy it because if you can laugh a little bit at some of the things that we do in Christian culture, whether that's, don't follow me as the name of the book, but then we really want to build our following, some of the ironies there. They painted Donald Faison's character as the villain, and he's just kind of the marketing director, the agent who wants to make money. I didn't actually have a problem with him as a character. I didn't see him that much as a villain because he was just trying to do his job and make money, and he just had clients that were Christian, and he kind of played up okay, we're going to make money because this is Christian content, but we're going to just make money off the Christian content. The person that I did see more as the villain, and the ending didn't quite satisfy me in this way, was Pastor Skip. And I've known Pastor Skips, and Pastor Skips are people who only want attention, who only want to build the name of their church more than they want to reach out to people, and they start treating their church like a business. He treats Guy and everyone else around him terribly. So the ending, and I'll watch the movie, but the ending has a moment where it's basically the song "I'm Coming Back to the Heart of Worship," where everybody repents for basically idolatry of turning Christ into a kitschy thing. And Pastor Skip does too, but there's no real moment where I thought, oh, this was leading up to him repenting, that this was actually a genuine moment, because he had treated Guy so horribly. He had treated the youth group so horribly. He had treated his daughter so horribly that there was no real consequence to that. And sadly, how Guy is treated by Skip and the board is a very common story. So that basically, if you don't go along with the group, they're going to kick you out of church. That's an unfortunate and sad piece of church culture, of that the oddball gets kicked out, or the person who stands up for, truth gets kicked out. So I wish that redemption arc, if they wanted to do a redemption arc with Skip, would have been a little bit deeper, because they have a deep moment at the ending, but the payoff wasn't as big as I wanted it to be, because Skip doesn't really have a journey toward repentance. That all of a sudden he's on board with everybody else who's doing it, so he's just kind of doing it along with the crowd. There would be a cool exploration. I don't know if it would make money, but there would be a cool exploration of that kind of storyline, where it pits pastor against pastor. It pits somebody who really wants to see the truth against somebody who really just wants the popularity contest won. They hint at it. They sort of skirt around the edges of this in this movie, but the payoff ultimately isn't as great as I wanted it to be in that storyline, because he was such a villainous character. Pastor Skip. He was really a stooge, and you don't necessarily want to see him succeed at the end. Even right up to moments before he has his come to Jesus moment, you're just like, oh, he's so awful. He's awful. So other than that, there was one other thing that I was surprised by, that I thought that the movie was going to go in a direction based on the trailer, that I thought that the youth group was actually going to try to kidnap Pastor Skip to avoid the crucifixion, that there would be a little bit more of a comedy of trying to really prevent him from doing this, whereas they seem to go about trying to prevent him in normal ways. Let's see if we can't get it done because they can't do the insurance. Let's see if we can't get it done because we're going to go talk to the kid's parents who wants to get crucified. So I thought that they could have gone, if they wanted to play the comedy of let's really stop Pastor Skip, that they could have played that a little bit harder on the hyperbole level. But again, I laughed all the way through it. I laughed, and hey, I'll take a movie that at least has some deep discussion starters and some laughs at the same time. So that's my take on Church People. If you saw it, let me know what you think.